Hello, hello, Jamaal Rashad here, Fredericks' best interviewer. Today I'm with Adeena Mignona. Say hello.
Hi.
ValorLives interview series, episode 106. So, why do I do what I do? Number one, because there's successful people who deserve to have their story told. Number two, there's successful people who need to hear stories so they can be inspired. And number three, to let you know you could go out there without a bunch of fancy equipment and impact your community. So just like always, each interview is going to be right around that 10-minute mark, raw, uncut. So Adeena is the owner of Crazy Robot LLC. She's had that business for 3 years. She's lived in Frederick County for 24 years, and she has a hubby and 2 kids. One of the kids is right there. Frank, say hello.
Hi.
That's Frank. So Adeena, how did you get into this writing journey? Like, how did it start?
Oh gosh, well, it started a very long time ago when I was in high school and college. I took creative writing classes, but it really started before that because I was a science fiction fan and then decided I wanted to write science fiction. So I took classes and I've been practicing the craft pretty much my entire life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you only write sci-fi stuff, right?
Yes, that's what I publish, but I've written a few other things, non-fiction-y. I write blog posts and things. But yes, my books are science fiction. My short stories are science fiction.
Okay, got you. So what's the longest book you've ever written?
The one that you're holding.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. It's about 86,000 words, which is a novel is usually 40,000 or more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks think that novels need to be 80 or 100, and that idea kind of kept me from writing one and thinking I could only write short stories for a long time. And then when I realized that some of my favorite novels were less than 50,000, I was like, well, wait a second. I don't have to, go for length. I can just go for what feels right. And that kind of made the magic work for me.
Okay, cool. What do you do when you get writer's block?
I don't get writer's block.
How do you
I don't believe in writer's block.
Okay.
Well, there's several writers like John Steinbeck and folks who think that it's more about having a habit and developing a habit.
Okay.
So I've developed a habit where I'm at my computer writing Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. before I go off to my day job. And that habit keeps you going. And for me, it's about having a plan and knowing before I go to bed what I'm going to be working on next morning.
Okay, very cool. And then what is your proudest moment of 2023?
2023, well, the book that you're holding, both of these books, this one is the 4th in my Robot Galaxy series, and this one came out in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So finishing that series was a huge deal. And then this other book, Lunar Logic, while it came out just 2 weeks ago, I finished it in 2023 and I got it pre-out in 2023. So between those two, that was my year.
Okay. And then what was your lowest moment of 2023 and how did you overcome it?
My lowest moment. Oh gosh. I'm going to say that 2023 was generally a pretty good year. I mentioned I have a day job.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I would say maybe the lower moments were my day job was not as fulfilling.
Okay.
But I really got through knowing that it was temporary and knowing that there's always ups and downs. So that kind of, to me, helps me kind of keep grounded and not let it get too bad, knowing that this is temporary, I can handle this, good times are ahead. Okay,
fair enough. And then where do you want to be a year from now?
So Lunar Logic that just came out, I am hoping that I have this whole year to market that book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I will be able to do a really good job of it. A lot of people will read it. A lot of people will choose to nominate it for awards. And then next year I'll be able to say, hey, I was nominated for these major awards. That's what I'd like for a year from now.
How would people go about nominating you?
Well, so the ones that I'm interested in, there's something called the Nebula Award, the Hugo Award. The folks in that community, they kind of know. So it's not something that just a random person can do.
Oh.
But the more people read the book, the more people tell other people about the book, it is a little bit of a get some, hi, I'm really here, just so people know about the book. So that's really what the best thing that people could do for me is just read the book and tell it to people about it.
Cool. And then do you have a current audiobook or a physical book other than your own that you are currently listening to?
Yes. So at any given time, I'm in the middle of a hard copy book, a Kindle book, and an audio book.
Whoa.
And usually it's nonfiction. I read and listen to a lot of nonfiction, and that's actually some of the fuel for what gives me ideas for my fiction. So the audiobook I'm listening to right now is called Periodic Tales. It's like a history of the periodic table in little stories. Yes, it's a little geeky.
It sounds super geeky. Okay, fair enough. And then do you have like a go-to app, whether it's for entertainment or productivity or anything like that?
Evernote.
Evernote.
It's for productivity, and I've been using it for like 15 or more years. And that's where I keep all my notes. Whenever I'm out and about, I have an idea, I just jot it down, and it syncs up with every device in my computer. I love it.
Okay, cool. And then what are you most thankful for other than your family?
Oh, other than family.
Other than
well, just the fact that, you know, I found an audience for my books. There are people out there that enjoy, you know, I don't have to write to a certain way. I can write what I enjoy, and there are people out there that are enjoying it. I'm incredibly grateful that that audience exists.
Okay. And then speaking of your book, is it like on Amazon and Kindle and everywhere?
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble?
Yes. The digital will be in Barnes and Noble soon. The print book is, yes.
Okay. And then how far is your reach? Like, have you had anybody overseas buy your book? Or?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And part of it is because, again, the magic of the internet.
Sure.
And I can advertise on Facebook, which goes internationally.
Right.
I'm part of a science fiction podcast too, and we have an international reach there.
Nice.
So between all those things, yes, I mean, I've had people in the UK, I have people in Australia.
So you're like an international artist. Are you a bestseller yet, or? So
there have been moments where on Amazon my sales rank have gone up and down, but it's not. That's a little. I don't like to claim, oh, I'm a bestseller, because it's a little artificial. But I've had some very good moments.
Cool, good for you. And then, what do you have exciting coming up in 2024?
Oh gosh, so many things. I speak at a lot of Star Trek and science fiction conventions, so I've got several of those. But for travel, I'm taking my husband on a Star Trek cruise.
To where?
Well, it's to the Caribbean. We're going to Curacao and Aruba, but it's a Star Trek cruise, and that's the magic of it.
So everybody's dressed like that?
For the people who do cosplay, which I'm not really a cosplayer, and it's not required. Those of us who don't really dress up can just enjoy everyone else, but it's just fun to be with people who enjoy the same thing. So we're doing that, and then I'm taking my older son to Seattle after he gets out of 8th grade.
Okay. And then, do you also play like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that?
I used to. And I enjoy everything about all that culture, I guess. But I'm currently, I like games that I can finish in 1 hour sitting. And so Dungeons, like a whole campaign, something had to give. And
so you're not that dorky. I love it.
Well, I am.
But not in that way. Okay, gotcha. And then any other life goals like scuba diving or bungee jumping or skydiving?
I want to get to Italy, to the little town where my family is from.
Oh.
That's a big one. And we were originally thinking this year, but traveling to Italy got a little expensive. So we're putting that off a little bit, but that's absolutely top goal.
Okay, awesome. And then how do you remain humble? Because, I mean, I'm sure, you know, your son reminds you.
He does.
Okay. Any other ways that you remain humble?
I try to let everyone know that, you know, while I write my books, there are more people than just me. You know, there are beta readers who've given me valuable feedback. There's someone I hired to do the cover. There's I'm going to pull this out for a second. There's my friend's daughter. Now, I commissioned her, but she made the robot art on the front and back. And so while it's my book, it isn't just me. There's, you know, a lot of people who have helped me on this journey, and that's, I guess, giving gratitude is the best way I can do it.
And this is a yoga robot.
Yes, because Lunar Logic is meant to be a little philosophical and fun, and I'm a huge fan of yoga, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to have robots in a yoga pose.
Awesome. So last question, who is the mentor that you spoke to most recently?
That's probably one of the hardest questions to answer, because as I get older, it's almost like some of my mentors are going away. But there's a science fiction author who I love. His name is John Scalzi. He's a pretty well-known science fiction author. And the fact that I've been able to talk to him at all in this last year is amazing. And yeah, he has some good words.
Okay. Well, that wraps it up for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Go out there, show some valor.
I need help doing that. Yes.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Talk to you soon. Bye. That's it. So short,